What would you ask Beetlejuice to do for you?
Oh.
Stay down there.
Yeah,
like,
don't come back.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with the man.
I want nothing to do with Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I want to watch him through like.
What would you?
What would you
No,
want?
nothing too. I don't want to sound like bad.
It's just he just looks like he really smells. Is what
That
it
is so
Like,
funny you said that. I had the
just
exact
don't-
same thought. I remember when I watched the first movie, there was that weird like fungus on his neck, and I was like, it was almost like I could smell what he smelled like. Whether
There's
it was like
flies
a
in this
mildew.
one around him all
Yeah,
the time.
totally.
It's like
Let's go, honey.
Recognize this puss.
Never seen that chick before in my life or afterlife.
You mentioned yesterday something really special, that Delores, your character, comes back from pain, but still she comes back.
Because she's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I suggest that we all have emotional scars. And that's why, to me, Delores, she's a metaphor of life. But she's strong, she's coming back, and she's very dangerous because she's a soul-sucking demon in the afterlife. And while Beetlejuice hunts everybody, she hunts him. And she's a Beetlejuice's bride. They had a short and intense love story. They ended very badly. In death, actually. But I don't want to say more about her because we have to discover in the film. Just there is a moment where she plays in a scene that is like a horror dancing scene. And it took like 2-3 days to film this moment. And it was so much fun for me because this role is very much about body language. I felt a bit like a mime, and I tried to play like a broken doll. And when Tim came to me and told me there is a key role in this movie for which I thought about you, I said yes without reading the script, actually.
I'm needed upstairs. Bob, go down the fort.
This is not your first project working with Tim Burton, so what's like working with such a creative and random mind?
it's the best. He is such a freak. He's got such a strange sense of humor that I love. He's also incredibly kind. He knows everybody's names. The way that he treats his cast and crew is incredibly, it's so admirable and special. And for me, because I've been working with him for the last few years now, it's nice because we've built a really great relationship where on set we almost kind of know what the other person is thinking before we even say it. So every day we kind of get together in his trailer and decide, okay, well, what do we want to do today? Or, you know, what are we gonna do that differently today? Which is so nice to have that and to have that trust in one another.
Justin, you've played a lot of villains before.
I have.
Very different, each one of another. So what's your take on your character for Beetlejuice?
I don't think of him as a villain. I think of him as a sweet guy. I mean, he's a total
A human.
D-bag.
He would say
but
that.
Yes, he would totally say that. Yeah, I mean, I love him. I mean, like all my villains, I love playing those kinds of characters. You know, they're really, I find them sort of touching, but there's also something just in life that I love meeting people who are like very like confident, but not very bright. And I sort of put him in that category. It's like, it's something, it's a quality weirdly I wish I had, which was a kind of a confidence, even if I was unsure of what I was going to say. He's very sort of forward leaning and, you know, sort of chin of the wind, you know, and I like that.
And I think the audience is going to be like Astrid whenever he's with him. Like, please, just don't.
Just don't, no.
What's it like playing on that set? I mean, for sure, we watched the movie after, the first one after it was on Cinemex and whatever, but it was like great. So, with wonderful sets. So what was like being in that world specifically?
It was the best. I feel like it was so hard not to break character and just love and appreciate what's happening in front of you. Everybody was so funny and so good at what they do. Also, as an actor, it's been an incredible experience to work with people who are so good at what they do, because you learn a lot. Even just, there's like almost through osmosis, through just spending time with them, you learn so much. And I've never worked on a set like this. I don't think you've ever worked on a set like this. It's just the set design, the props, the practical effects, you know, no CGI, no nothing done with the computers. I think it's so refreshing, and it gives you something to work with. It really helps you create a much bigger imagination, and on set you come up with so many brand new ideas that are exciting to everyone, and it just feels like play.
A weird phenomenon that happens. I don't know if this happened to you, where you'd be on set all day for maybe 12 hours, and then you'd leave the set and you'd go back into the real world. So you go back out, you'd walk out of the soundstage, and you'd be then there'd be normal cars and normal buildings, and you'd be like, this is so much more fun back in there,
Yeah, you never wanted to leave.
Yeah, you're sort of like this. It's like being kind of at like Disneyland or something, Tim Burton's Disney. I mean, he should create a theme park because it would be hilarious.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
Park just about
not a
Beetlejuice.
section of a theme park.
Yeah,
the
like
entire
entire
theme
life.
park.
Yeah.
What the Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.